Welcome to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today I'm going to be doing first impression for Venom of an Angel and Musc Ravageur, so stay tuned for that. And if you like the content, hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. So I'm actually going to start with Venom of an Angel. This is from Piotr Czarnecki. This is a Polish perfumer, and he has done another very popular fragrance, Shihan, which sounded like to me that I would really enjoy it. Wasn't really a fan of Shihan. It smelled kind of weird, kind of hay-like to me, and I ended up decanting most of the bottle I got away. So I did decide, however, to give the brand another chance, and I picked up a sample of this one. It sounded interesting. I do really like the presentation for the bottles, and so was very much hoping that this would be a win for me and one that I actually enjoy and maybe could think about buying. Another one I want to try is Blue Bayou. Sounds really quite good as well, but let's get into it. Okay, here we go. That is very interesting and hard to describe. Okay, there's something very, very sweet there. It has a candy-like accord. This is actually pretty pleasant so far. This actually smells very gourmandy. Very, very sweet. Very, I want to say kind of vanilla-y, but not vanilla dominant. Does have that really nice candy-ish. There's something very sweet, almost a little bit rosy. That's what's giving it a little bit of this kind of rouge type of a feel, which actually makes the sweetness smell a little bit more like candy. Reminds me maybe of something like Skittles, actually, to be quite honest, and that is an interesting smell to me. But I will say, right off the bat, very much enjoy that one. Something that I think would be good for the fall-winter, and one that I would like to try more. I'm going to actually go to Musc Ravageur, return to this one, see if it's changed a little bit, see what my additional thoughts are beforehand. But I will say, it's quite loud. It's got a very strong scent to it. Very interesting, sweet, candy-like. Like I said, there's something in there that is giving it a bit of a rouge type quality. It doesn't smell like rose. I know I said rose. It doesn't actually smell like rose, but there is something that gives it a bit of a rougey quality. But I'm going to actually go into Musc Ravageur. We'll be honest with you, I smelled this one briefly at a store in London, so I guess you could say this is not a true first impression. But what I remember of it was very little. I remember thinking it was a little bit surprisingly gourmand, which is why I decided to pair it with Venom of an Angel. And I do remember liking it, but I don't really remember what it smelled like, and I thought it was going to be a very animalic, musky fragrance, so that kind of surprised me. But without further ado, let's get into this one. Okay, I'm not entirely sure why I remember this one as being very gourmandy, because it is actually quite musky. There is something in there that has a bit of a sweet vibe, but there is a very, very animalic quality or property to this fragrance right up front, which I am happy about. So, especially when I was first looking into this fragrance, that was really one of the things that brought my attention to the fragrance. I had the impression that this would be a very musky, animalic type of fragrance. And here, on first impression, I will definitely say it doesn't disappoint in that regard. It's got to have something like castoreum or civet in it. Probably not real, but synthetic musks are generally used because it's much more humane to the animals. Very musky, not particularly dirty. There is a very small hint in this, which gives me the impression of maybe a little bit dirty, but not like a poopy kind of musk, not like a leather oud kind of poopy quality. It does just have a slight dirtiness, so it's not super clean musk. It's definitely more of an animalic, slightly dirty It has, though, a freshness to it, too. So there is something in there that's bringing a bit of a freshness. This is one that I think definitely is a little bit more... I mean, you have to be the kind of person that really likes these animalic fragrances. You have to like that kind of scent profile. There's something there that's maybe a slight spice, but it's not particularly spicy. But it is overall more what I was expecting when I first tried it. So I don't know what I tried or what was going on when I actually tried this. This is exactly why it's always good to get a sample, and this is much more what I was expecting. So I'm going to go back to Venom of an Angel, smell it a little bit. I know it's probably only been a couple of minutes, but oftentimes it'll develop a little bit more, and I find that going back and forth can oftentimes give me a little bit of balance so that I can pick up on different notes or different facets. So this one is very, very sweet. I will say there is something in the background there that's a slight bit harsh. It's not particularly overwhelming, but there is something there that has a little bit of a harsh quality to it. But definitely, like I said, it has this very nice, sweet, almost kind of cakey, gourmandy kind of a vibe with this candy-like feel. So I do definitely get that this one feels to me much more gourmand. It's not completely unfamiliar, so I don't feel like this is a copy of anything else per se, but it definitely has a DNA that I've smelt before. It's not in that sense completely unique. It does, in some sense, remind me of Essence by Genre Parfums, which some people have said reminds them of Herba Pura, which I haven't actually smelled that Xerjoff, but Essence to me definitely has that Skittles vibe. It definitely smells a lot like a big bowl of Skittles that has that dimension to it. But there's definitely this very cakey kind of vibe too, and I think that's maybe a lot of the vanilla or something. But it's very sweet, very candy-like. There is, like I said, just this hint of sort of harshness that reminds me a little bit of Vicks, actually, in the background. But it's got this nice candy-like, fruity, a bit of a rouge kind of a feel, and a little bit of a cakey feel. Do enjoy that one. This one I'm definitely going to be trying out more, because I think this would be a nice fall or winter fragrance. It does come off to me as fairly unisex. If anything, it might lean a little feminine because it is so sweet, and it is very gourmandy. But I think, anyone can wear this, and I think that it does have a certain level of class to it, so I think you could definitely wear this one up a little bit if you wanted to. But again, fall, winter, I think definitely where this one shines. I really wish I'd gotten this one instead of Shihan. Now, Shihan has like tobacco and booze and all the notes that I kind of like, but something about it just did not work for me, and so I ended up basically selling it off. Not a big fan of it, but this, very good. I'm glad, because I was very much looking for a redemption, because I do like the idea of this house. Now, returning briefly to Musc Ravageur. Very animalic. There is a bit of a complexity there. There's something that's a little bit herbal almost. It does have that animalic vibe, but again, it's only a hint dirty. It's not something that comes off like pee or poo or whatever. But it is a very, very strong, musky, animalic fragrance, and that's kind of what I was hoping for, so I'm glad that they did bring that, especially with the name Musc Ravageur. I thought it was going to be very, very musky, and that is most certainly what it is. This is one that I think is for those kind of people that like those very animalic scents. I think it's a little bit less safe. This one's not going to be that mass appealing, I don't think. It will definitely put some people off because it is fairly strong, fairly upfront with that animalic vibe. But again, it is that type of fragrance that a lot of times is associated with a much more classy fragrance. So it is one that you could wear up. It does feel more like it would be the kind of thing that would be for a special occasion, just because of the way that this one is blended. I wouldn't wear this one casually personally. But again, it depends on the formal situation. This one's a little bit more challenging, a little bit more daring, But those kinds of fragrances can also always pay off in the sense of they do say something about you. And that's oftentimes why somebody might wear a fragrance. You want something that's an extension of your personality. And if, of course, this is the image that you want to portray, to me it's strong. You know, it's very confident, so it is that type of fragrance. Is nice as well. I will definitely look into that one more. I think there might be some florals in this one, and you know, I think this one I probably like more just because of the overall wearability. I think this is one that you could wear in a lot of different occasions. Like I said, it's classy, but I could wear this one casually, and so that I kind of favor. But both of them I think are good, and I am, as I said, very glad that I enjoyed this one. I was kind of edge of the seat there for a minute. Anyways, guys, have you tried anything from Piotr Czarnecki or from Frederic Malle? Let me know in a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.